Being a practice owner comes with its own challenges. Patient care is the number one priority. Now you're responsible for running a team, and people who are on your team, they matter. Every person who's on your team, need to see the same vision and really want to grow with you. Getting people who are passionate on your team is, I feel, the most challenging part of hiring people.
Today we are joined by the gorgeous Dr. Roxana Imanian. You are a dentist, you are a nurse injector, or maybe not nurse injector, but doctor injector. You are a podcast host and now the founder of Smile Edit. If there's anything else that I missed, please add it to that long, long list. So thank you for joining us today, Roxana.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you have an amazing story and you are also a Persian sister, so I love you even more. Tell us about how you got started into dentistry and a little bit about how you grew up. Have you always been in Phoenix? All that good stuff.
Yeah, of course. I was born and raised in Iran to a very beautiful family in a very beautiful beach town in north of Iran. But it was hard to be born a woman there. And I was born in a Baha'i faith, which was not easy for us. We had no human rights, but it taught me resilience in life. And I didn't come from an easy background, which I'm very grateful for. And when I left at 14, because I wanted to build a life for myself as a female and work hard for what I have. And coming here as a refugee allowed me the opportunity to really take everything in my hands and really focus on what I want to do with my life and what really sets my soul on fire, which dentistry does. And I started as an assistant, a dental assistant. I worked for really great doctors who really taught a lot of good clinical dentistry. And I wanted to just pursue it and be able to do more procedures and grow in the field. And that's why I just took part-time classes and worked full-time. Then I switched and I was like going to school full-time, working part-time. And here we are. Years later, I became a dentist. I wouldn't want it any different way. I get to help people. I get to put a smile on people's faces, help building confidence, and just be there for others and give back. So it's what makes me happy and gives me purpose and keeps me going.
So when you came here and moved, did your whole family come or did you come solo?
I came solo. I came with my sister because I was 14. I couldn't fly on my own. But I went to Turkey and, we had a case as a refugee and she took my custody and we came here, but I was not dependent on her, financially or in other ways. So I basically just supported myself throughout the years.
What was your first job?
At Target at 16. So I started working at Target, which taught me customer service. It was really great, and just to learn, how to do huddles and build a team and, really appreciate your team members for helping you. And just the culture was great. Pay wasn't, but it was a great first job. I think when you work in retail, you just, learn to work hard. And, that was a very good experience.
I mean, you're really truly the definition of self-made. You come as a refugee, you don't have family support and people paying your bills. You get started by working at Target, and then how do you end up getting yourself from being 16 into college and
Beyond.
getting into dental school?
Yeah, so when you come here as a refugee, you get a certain amount of money per month just to support you until you can support yourself. So as soon as I turned 18, I was completely on my own. I just, became a dental assistant right after dental school, and I started working in the dental field. And I also had weekend jobs, so all of that, just getting a degree, and I loved it. I loved learning. I always did since I was a child. I really just always wanted to be straight A's, and I wasn't even happy with A's. I wanted A plus. That's just always been my, passion. Just to this day, I take continued education courses to really hone on my skills and just be better, a better clinician, a better listener, just and overall just keep improving. And that only comes with continued learning and seeking for knowledge every day.
So you now own your own practice here in Arizona. What has been what led you to owning it, and then what's been the hardest part so far?
Yeah, so being a practice owner comes with its own challenges because now you're responsible for running a team, and people who are on your team, they matter. Every person who's on your team, need to see the same vision, and really want to grow with you, and getting people who are passionate on your team is I feel the most challenging part of hiring people. And being a business owner, you have to find talent, but once you find it, you have to know how to help others to really advance in their career and set them up for success. And the dentistry part of it is the easiest part. I feel like it's mostly just knowing how to deal with human beings, how to be supportive of your team, and really patience. Patient care is the number one priority. Now that doesn't matter if you're an associate or a business owner. That should always be on top of the list, the number one priority. But once you're a business owner, it's even more important to really have happy patients, to really care for people, listen to them. That's one thing that I feel like clinicians sometimes lack because these skills are not taught in dental school. Nobody sits you down and tells you how to be a good clinician, chairside clinician, and really know how to connect with human beings. They don't teach you communication skills.
It's kind of like when you're becoming a doctor and you don't have the bedside table manner to if somebody has really bad news, to be able to give them that bad news in a way that is empathetic.
Yeah, de-escalate the situation to take the stress off of that person, because people come to your office usually because they have a problem, right?
Yeah.
And you have to be able to solve the problem for them, not to add to their problem. And if it happens, you have to know how to navigate and try to really do right by the patients, do right by your team, and it all falls on you, because if you fail, it's you that failed. It's not anybody else's fault.
At what point in building the business so far did you get to a point where you felt like you wanted to quit, or you wanted to go in a different direction, or you kind of got to a hurdle and you couldn't figure out quite how to jump over it?
That's a wonderful question. So my path to dentistry, I wanted to become a dentist. That was my goal for the longest time. So I never had to pivot. I just had to remove all the distractions on my path and overcome obstacles. And anything that was thrown my way, I had to focus on what the goal was and try to come back to that path. And once I became a doctor, then I was like, okay, well, what's next? Well, now what? Now the goal has been to become the best clinician in the entire state of Arizona. And then after that is like how to become the top 1% of the clinicians in the world. And I always believed in myself. And, you can't doubt yourself. You set a goal and you just work hard. You shoot for the stars. If you land on the moon, that's fine. But, so I never had to really pivot. I always set a goal and I just stuck to it. And I removed any distractions that came my way.
I feel like that's such like a Persian trait. Do you know what I mean? Like for some reason, so many of us were born with this feeling like I can do anything. Were your parents like big proponents in telling you you can achieve whatever you want? Because mine definitely were. They never put limits on how big I could dream or what direction I had to go. So is that where you think that came from? Or do you think it was just,
I think a lot of my traits come from my childhood and the family values and the pressure that my parents put on me to be the best. Like my mom wanted me to go home with an A+. She wasn't happy with a B+. She set the bar so high for me, and I loved it. And I think that's why I push myself today the way I do, and I just continue pushing myself, and I continue wanting to perfect my my skills and just as a person too. I think you're right. It's the family traits and values and the way you're raised, and some of it, believe it or not, I think is in you.
Yeah, I agree.
So I feel
I
like
have a couple lazy cousins I can think of.
yeah. So you have to have the talent, you have to have the mentality, and the rest of the environment also helps for sure.
Well, I think too, I mean, you were in a situation where it was like, I have to do this. There's no plan B. You don't just get to go move back to Orange County, like into your family's house and mom and dad will take care of it. It's, you have got to figure this out in America.
Yes.
It's you depending on you, basically. I mean, you had a little bit of support, sure, but it wasn't like you had this big backup plan like so many of us who were born and raised in the U.S. have.
Yeah, that's true. There was no going back. It was just moving forward. And
have you been back since you left when you were 14?
I went back a long time ago.
Okay.
I haven't been back for over maybe 12, 13 years.
Okay.
It's scarier now than when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a risk. And I can't afford to take risks. Going back to what you were saying, I had to be very careful because there was, no leeway. There was no, other people I could rely on or fall.
Yeah, like you couldn't go get thrown in jail. You couldn't get, like
no,
all that kind of stuff because there's no one who's going to come save you.
Right, exactly. But I was aware of that.
Yeah.
Some people are not. Some people just take risks and they do dumb things and it really just messes everything up and it makes us that much harder. So all my life, I tried not to make it harder for me by making better choices.
The smartest entrepreneurs don't just create businesses, they create content that scales them. At PS Studios, we work with high-level entrepreneurs and creators across the country. Some fly in every month to shoot with us in sunny Scottsdale. Others send us their raw footage and we turn it into scroll-stopping, authority-building content. From filming to editing to distribution, we handle it all. Done for you. Turnkey content that grows your audience, elevates your brand, and keeps you top of mind. Leaders don't wait, they create. Schedule your call today. 100%. That makes
well,
so
and to
sense.
have that mindset starting at 14 when you left is pretty rare, I would say.
Well, and how terrifying, right? If you're a 14-year-old and you're moving across the world, I'm assuming you didn't speak perfect English.
I didn't.
Did you speak any English when you moved?
A little,
Okay.
yeah. But very shy of speaking because I wanted to be perfect. Even to this day, you can hear my accent. But when I was younger, it was terrifying to speak because I thought people would make fun of me, that I wouldn't fit in, I wouldn't sound like an American. I know a lot of people have accents here, and that's what I heard from a lot of people, which is nice to have friends because then they tell you, okay, don't be so hard on yourself. It's okay.
Sure.
Just,
My
try.
dad still has it.
Yeah. At least just try. You don't have to be perfect. And these things that you hear from other people, it's like therapy because it helps you. That's why it's so important to have a good group of people and friends who are helping you to grow and give you good advices instead of, telling you can't. You need people who tell you, go for it.
Yeah.
Just give it a try. You learn most from your failures. And that helped me to just, come out of my shell and
And embrace
at least
being not
yes,
perfect in English.
exactly, and embrace that to this day. I know I say something's wrong and I don't want to, but it's been a learning experience. And just like everything else I'm learning, I'm also perfecting my English, and I would love to learn more languages. Two of my favorite languages is French and Arabic.
Arabic is so hard, but you'll probably pick it up semi-easily since you speak Farsi fluently.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to focus. I'm just learning how to play the guitar and kickboxing and golf. So I have so much on.
Oh my gosh, we
on
should
the-
all go golfing.
Yes.
That would be so fun. I'm also like in my 3rd or 4th year of trying to get better at golf. You've been
I
playing
just
for a
played
while.
my best game ever a week ago.
That's awesome. That's
but it's
pretty
so
cool.
difficult to
Yeah.
like get consistently good.
Yeah,
So that would be fun.
it's challenging. That's why I like it so much.
Same. And like every day is a different day in golf versus like skiing. I show up on the mountain and like I didn't forget how to ski, right? Like I can get a little bit better, but it's not like I'm training to become a ski racer at this age, at this point.
Yeah.
But with golf, it's like you could have the best day ever, like you had last week, and then you could go tomorrow and
And
be like,
suck.
this is the worst day I've ever had. It's so humbling.
Yeah. Oops.
How has your faith shifted or grown or depleted as you've gone through moving, building a business to where you are now?
And have you stayed Baha'i?
Yeah. So I have. I don't practice it enough. I really embrace all world religions, and I think having a religion is so beautiful because it really helps you to connect with your inner self and talk you to yourself in a kinder way when you feel grounded and you feel like, okay, there is a purpose higher than myself, whether you want to believe in a God or not. I have friends who are atheists, but they're amazing people. They're great people. So my faith today is just be a good person and give back as much as you can and be open-minded to other religious views. I feel like the one thing I may not be very supportive of when it comes to religions is that you just shut yourself off to other views and you think that my view is the only way that's right and that's how it should be. I just don't believe in that. I feel like human beings are free to choose what they want because of what gives them the most inner peace. We shouldn't impose it to others because that might not be what works for other people, right? Mm-hmm. So that's really where I'm at today. Doesn't mean I'm not going to change my mindset or opinion years later. We're constantly growing. Our brains constantly expanding. Our minds are constantly learning. And the person I am today, I wasn't yesterday, So what I said today might change in the future, but that's what I believe today.
You are the perfect example of building the American dream. So what does that specifically mean to you? If someone were to call you from Iran and say, I want to come to the US, what would you tell them about achieving it?
Oh my God, it makes me emotional. But the opportunity that I was given as a female is unparalleled. Like, I am so grateful for the chance to be here, to be able to find my talent, to work hard and build trust within myself. Because every time I achieved a goal, I trusted myself a little bit more that I can do it. If I could do it, anybody else can do it too. They just have to have the opportunity. And when that's taken away from you, oh my God, I'm just so glad I'm not one of those people living in an oppressed country and they're not living their lives based on what they're being told what to do or what's the right way to live. I had the opportunity to break free and choose the path that I wanted to. So I'm just super grateful. And that's the American dream, because you are given that opportunity to make something of yourself if you want to and if you work hard enough towards that goal.
100%.
Is there one sacrifice you've made that you would have opted to do it a different way?
Yes.
Do you want to share it? I understand if you don't.
Now, it's emotional because some females, are wanting to have a family. And I really, wanted to have a family and have kids. But I think that was a sacrifice I made. I just really put all my energy towards building my business. And that was the sacrifice. Now, some females can do both. And oh my God, I hope one day that's me, to have kids and run a very successful practice and put all my energy into multiplying, the business that I have, open up multiple practices, hire more employees, help more people. I just haven't found a balance to be able to do that. And that's something that I feel like I'm ready to work on now. But it just comes with a lot more stress. And, because when you have kids, they need your attention.
They need a lot of it.
Yes. So it becomes very difficult to work like a man,
To work the long hours for sure.
too long. Exactly. And also be nurturing towards the kids and give them enough attention, So I haven't done it yet. That was the sacrifice I have made throughout the years. But obviously, I would love to have a family and start having kids and, go from there.
I love it. So you, of course, believe in capitalism. You're proof that if you work hard for something that you can achieve great things. What would you tell people about just hard work paying off? Like, what would be something you would want to leave listeners with?
I think that people talk about work-life balance. And it's hard to achieve that in a capitalist world because things are moving so fast. And with AI technology and everything else that's going on, you almost feel like, oh my God, I'm late to the game and now I have to work so much harder. There's so much pressure just because of how fast things are moving forward. And it can be scary at times. There are so many unpredictable things that I feel the future holds. However, I just truly believe that, you have to work hard and you have to just give it your best and hope for the best outcome. And at least, you push yourself to, the best you could. And that to me is really what we could all do as human beings. Really just harvest our talent, give it our best, and hope for the best.
Do you have a pearl of wisdom you can offer people who are looking to take their expertise and actually convert it into a thriving business?
Yes. I think that the most important skill is communication. And that starts with, how you present yourself, your body language, your smile, right? Once you learn how to communicate with other humans, then you will have a lot more people who want to be on your team and help you succeed in life. And we as human beings need each other. And I feel like if you want to be a successful person, you have to really have good communication skills, and also just continue learning. Be willing to learn something new every day, and just be a good person. Try to help others. It comes back tenfold. So that's just my pearl of wisdom.
Okay, before we wrap up, we need to know what is Smile Edit, and talk to us about your podcast that's going to be launching soon, because that is, of course, the reason how we got to know you.
Yeah. So I wanted to create a space for my patients where everyone could feel heard, and they would just feel like this is the right dental home for them, to feel that they could come in and have the best experience possible, to really, because I know dentistry can be stressful for a lot
A
of
lot of people are
patients.
terrified of the
They are.
dentist.
So I wanted to change that experience for them. And I feel like modern dentistry is doing that. We want to make it a spa experience for patients. We want to make it a safe place for people. And for me, it's all about transformation. It's just how can I make you feel more confident so you can go out in the world and be the best version of yourself, feel like you can conquer anything you want. And it all starts with a beautiful smile. If you're a grumpy person and you don't smile enough, it's not going to work out. It's like being well dressed. A beautiful smile is like how you prep yourself to go out in the world and have an impact. So I just wanted to be able to bring people in and really see what their insecurities are, and make them feel safe, seen, and give them options, and see what we could do for them to make them feel transformed and empowered.
I love it. And then give us a little bit about your podcast, when people can expect it to be launching, all that good stuff.
The podcast is just interviewing dentists who are way ahead of me. And just I'm learning from them, and I want the same for my audience. Just asking how they did it, what was the mindset, what do they do on daily basis that helps them succeed? How do they manage stress? How do they, continue inspiring themselves? And I just love learning and hearing from people and different experiences, because that's how you learn. You either have to experience it yourself, or you have to learn it through other people's experiences. So I just want it to be very story driven, because everyone's so unique. And when someone's super successful, you just sit and wonder, how did they do it, right? And it inspires me, and I think it would inspire a lot of other people, especially younger people, to do the same. Just trying to make it an easier path for people who are wanting to do great things in life.
And how can people get a hold of you?
I have social media account. I just launched Smile Edit. That would be a great way to, contact me. Just message me on social media. I can just provide you with my email address as well, and you can share with your audience if you wish.
And if you're in Arizona, you can go to see Dr. Imanian.
Yes, at Peoria Dental Smiles.
I love it. Okay, so that is probably 20 minutes away from Scottsdale?
Yeah, very close. I live in Desert Ridge, and for me, it's only 17 miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not far.
Not far at all.
Amazing. So if you want a spa-like dental experience that is, of course, not scary, because look at our gorgeous doctor here, that is the place to go. All right. So we'll link all of your social media. Your podcast is going to be launching very, very soon. Is there anything else that we should be looking out for from you, doctor?
No, just more podcast episodes and social media content and just sharing great patient experiences. And my team members, I can't wait to share their stories and introduce them to everyone. So that's what's coming up next.
I love it. Well, we cannot wait to continue supporting you. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Behind the Success.